1.5. Okay, we are live. This is Drunk Weather version 1.5, also known as the co-pilot, because we're not quite good enough for episode 2 yet. We're still figuring out some kinks, so I do hope you'll bear with me here. I've just now figured out how the software works, and I've got two bitches in the background who are going to provide me useful advice, but you won't hear their voices because they choose to remain anonymous. And one calls themselves Jacob, but I'm not convinced that's their real name. So what I pulled up right now is just GR Earth, which is usually what we start to look at because it's a good idea to get an idea of what's going on relatively globally because we're all industrious people here. My main feedback from last time is to not be a dumbass and to not make this thing 10 minutes long. So I'll try to be concise. And concise means that I'm going to talk about things as quickly as possible. That's usually what concise means. So what do we have going on? In the west coast of, what is that, Canada? Is that a real thing? Okay. In the west coast of Canada, we have this mid-latitude cyclone developing, and it's pretty obvious spinning on the ultrasound there. And then on the East Coast, what do we have? We have some tropical bullshit. Holy crap! Are those live temperatures? Are those like heat indices? No, those are temperatures. Oh god. Does anyone here? Oh wow. Do people actually live in Tampa? 82.9. Wow. Good job. Well, over here in Happy World, it's like a 58, so that's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, okay. So we're gonna if I do this right, I switched the browser successfully. I'm proud of myself. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the Call of Duty pages. I don't think they endorsed this show yet because they don't know me, but we're gonna use them anyway. And we're gonna go to just some basic, numerical models because we just want to, make this pretty quick and concise. And we're just going to look at some short term first. So we understand there's a mid-latitude cyclone going on the west coast. So we're going to look at just the west coast particularly. Because those of you who have been paying attention know that the West Alberta has been particularly shafted the last couple of days. And shafted in a good way. They've been getting a bunch of rain and hail and a bunch of weirdo stuff. So I bet a lot of you want to know, is that going to continue or is it going to get worse? Is it going to get better? Should I build my ark now? These are the questions that you're probably asking, so, we can figure this out. And what I'm seeing here is, let's go to a higher level because apparently surface is shit. So we can kind of see this low developing to the east there in Saskatchewan near Regina. And they don't say A in Regina. They say something much more racist, which I'm not going to utter here. It's kind of like it's Canada's Nebraska, where it doesn't really know what it's doing yet. So you clearly see this convergence happening there. But what this means for us in the medium term, let's go to the NAM4K. And we can't do sector views here, but we can do one of these. Actually, let's go to the NAM. Fuck that shit. Alright, Northwest NAM. And what are we looking at now? We're looking at just relatively upper level temperature. So this would be about, a couple thousand feet above your house. And what we're looking at here is, it gets relatively cold, especially tomorrow morning. And it's just pumping in cold air down the rocky pipeline into heaven. And it's just going to be awesome for the next couple of days. I mean, it warms up Saturday, which is kind of shit. So, if you look at our meteogram, which I believe this is it, it's still loading because fuck you, Shaw. Okay, so what we're seeing here is, there's tomorrow. There's that northerly flow. We might get to a high of 65 if we're lucky. And then it cools right back down. A perfect day for some weirdos from, say, the southwestern U.S. or southeastern U.S. to visit. So what are we looking at beyond that then? We're looking at this cutoff low leaving, and that's shameful. So we're going to look at the medium term now. And, hey, look, these 0Zs. Done enough. We're looking at, say, all of these fuckers. There we go. Oh, whoa, that's not right. Oh, that's pretty cool. There we go. Let's go back to 850 because that's it's a reasonable frictionless giggity temperature. So we're looking at that low leaves. You'll see it leaving Saskatchewan and all those guys, and then a little ridge builds. You'll see Alberta getting really warm. But what's funny is Alberta's really warm. Is a lot cooler. Is a lot cooler than what's it called? What's that shitty part? Oh, the southeast U.S. That's much warmer. And you can see it moving on. Oh, this is the unfair comparison because you'll see a lot of the West Coast is actually too low for this. Let's go to 700. That's more fair. There we go. Okay, so now you can see a bunch of lows spinning around. It's pretty sexy. So there goes. It kind of departs. You can see it like right there, my cursor. And then we going eastward. But what's this shit here? That is sub-freezing 700 millibar temperatures, and which would, for sea level people, be a couple miles above. No big deal. And then we're moving, holy crap, that's going to just hammer us by Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Awesome, because that's when we were planning on going on our little mountain trip. I'm trying to remember what else there was. That's pretty much most of it. You know, we just want to make sure the West Coast is good to go. I mean, we can look at a previous run and get more hours out of it if we wish. If I can figure out how that works. 18 said that doesn't count. So yeah, previous run has something similar. Yeah, there it goes. We get hammered, right? Boom. Game over. And then you see this trough, persistent trough in the East Coast. That means relatively lower temperatures for them as well. So really, the only people who get screwed in this pattern is flyover, like we talked about last week. And we talked, Nebraska, all those states that, what's the politically correct way to say this? They're good at farming, and they're a very valuable agricultural contribution to North American society. That's the most politically correct way I can describe this region. And they're in luck because they're expecting more agriculturally productive atmospheric environments. That's pretty much where I'm going at here. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And if we look at the long term, you can see that pattern persists for a while. There's just this very warm ridge. And there's some weirdo stuff happening beyond the range of predictability, but we can't go over that now because that involves chaos theory, and that's very, very complicated stuff. So we're going to wrap it up here, and hopefully next week's episode will be less shit. And by next week, I mean the week after next, because I don't think it's really polite to get drunk in front of a 5-year-old and do stuff. So we'll see you later. 99.